We're Victor and Annette, and we're on a journey to get out of debt, simplify our lives, and one day travel full time. And this week,
well, our first open house is over. We spent weeks getting ready, getting the house ready, and we imagined people walking through the front door. We imagined conversations, maybe even an offer. Instead, not one person came inside. That wasn't the picture that we imagined. If you're selling a house right now, or you've ever waited on something that would change your life, you probably know exactly how this feels. But here's the thing. I wanted to talk to you today about what happens when your plans fall through and they don't move forward as quickly as you had hoped. Like having an empty open house. Sometimes the hardest part of chasing a dream isn't about taking the first step. It's about waiting for the next one. Welcome back to Fully Retired and Roaming. I don't know about you, but whenever I picture an open house, I imagine cars pulling up and into the driveway and people walking through the rooms and neighbors stopping by and maybe even someone saying, "This is the one." Instead, a couple of cars stopped to look from the road, but no one came inside. You know what's funny? Every time a car slowed down, we thought, maybe this is the one. Then they drove away. At that point, it's really easy to let your mind race. I'll admit, after the open house ended and no one walked through the door, our minds did start racing. The first thing that we asked ourselves is, did we price the house too high? Then that became, maybe the market has slowed down. Maybe buyers are waiting to see what happens with interest rates. Maybe people just weren't looking this weekend. The funny thing is, when something important to you doesn't happen the way you think it should, your brain immediately starts looking for reasons. You don't know the reason. You just start filling in the blanks. We had to stop and remind ourselves that one open house doesn't tell the whole story. Plenty of homes don't sell because of the first open house. That's just a fact. Sometimes the right buyer comes on at an unexpected time. Sometimes they find your listing online weeks later. So we're not trying to let one weekend convince us that something is wrong. I noticed that there were two conversations going on in my head. One voice said, "Nobody came. This isn't good." The other voice said, "It's only one afternoon." Then the first voice would say, "Maybe this is going to take forever." And the other voice would answer, "It only takes one buyer." These two voices are polar opposites of each other. One voice wanted to panic, and the other voice reminded us of how many things have already changed in just a few weeks by making difficult decisions. The journey is still moving, even if today didn't feel like progress. We're disappointed. There's no pretending otherwise, but this journey was never going to be decided by one Saturday afternoon. we're still moving forward and we're still believing that the right buyer is out there. It's almost like standing at an airport after you've already checked your bags. Everything important is packed. You're holding your boarding pass, but your flight hasn't been called yet. You can't go back home. You can't leave yet. All you can do is just wait. That's where we are. We're packed emotionally and practically, and we're just waiting for our gate to be called. As disappointed as I felt today, I walked through the house afterward and realized just how much this house has given to us. It's where we built routines, solved problems, and celebrated milestones and dreamed about retirement. When we finally do sell, we'll be giving another family the opportunity to make memories here. That doesn't happen overnight. Maybe the right family just hasn't found us yet.
Victor and I got married in our backyard. We had a small, quiet ceremony and invited family from all over to come celebrate with us. My 2 sons and their family all stayed with us, and we had about 12 people sleeping here, including me and Victor, for a few days. And it was quite funny having all the grandkids sleeping in the living room. There were bodies everywhere. It was like a great big mosh pit. We had our reception out on our back deck and had tables and chairs that we borrowed from the church down the street. We had them all set up, and I made a wedding cake piñata and filled it with candy. We hung it from one of the tree branches and let all the kids swing at it. It was a lot of fun. And one of my favorite memories was creating a popcorn bar with little movie theater bags that said, "Thanks for popping by." It was such a simple thing, but everyone loved it.
So what happens now? Honestly, we keep living. I keep working. We keep planning. We keep showing up every week for you. And eventually, one of these videos is going to begin with, guess what? I can't tell you when that day it will come, but I can promise that we'll bring you along when it does happen. So if you've ever sold a home, I'd really love to hear your story. Did you have an open house that nobody came to? Did your house sit longer than you had expected? Or did you suddenly get an offer when you least expected it? Leave a comment below, because I have a feeling there are a lot of people in this community that need a little encouragement, including us. Today's chapter wasn't the one we wanted to tell, but it's still part of the story. Someday, when we're sitting in our RV, looking back on this journey, I have a feeling this empty open house will be one of those moments that we just laugh about. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Thanks for being here. Thanks for following our journey. Next week, we're going to show you what we're doing while we wait. Because sitting around worrying isn't going to get this house sold. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.